Hello, and welcome to In the Den with Dr. Jenn, an open-minded and fun place for females to explore sexuality in a comprehensive manner and start thinking about female sexuality outside the box. Today, I have two extremely special guests. Honestly, I probably couldn't be more honored and pleased to have anyone in the den with me than these two people. These are my parents, Carol and Mike Gunsaullus, who just flew into San Diego about an hour ago from Pennsylvania. So, how is it to be on this side of the camera?
Different.
Cool. I like it.
So since we have very different generations represented here, I thought it'd be fun to ask you guys about your memories of learning about sex and sexual health. So, either of you can jump in. What are your earliest memories of sex education and learning about sex?
You first, hon.
Okay. Earliest, I guess, would be going with my father. We were driving somewhere and he decided to tell me about the birds and the bees.
How old were you?
Probably 12, 15, something like that.
Was it uncomfortable?
No, it wasn't very detailed. So,
So you didn't really get
just
much
use
out of it.
protection, I guess, was the biggest thing.
All right, good lesson. You?
My dad used to let dirty books sit around, and that was his way of telling me to get an education.
For real, you think he left them sitting around
No,
for you to
no,
follow? Oh, no.
I snuck a peek at them whenever he wasn't around.
Okay.
And that was it. And then in high school, it was an all-girls school, and I can remember specifically being in physics or chemistry and a bunch of us girls sitting around the table and talking about, who was being intimate and who wasn't.
Who was being what?
Intimate.
Oh, intimate, okay.
That's, I don't know.
Having sex.
And I learned a lot that way too.
So you think you got accurate information from your friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The few that were, involved at that point.
Okay.
Anyhow, more than I got from my parents.
Okay. What do you think are the biggest differences today around sex education or sex or whatever compared to when you guys were growing up?
Well, one's the internet. I mean, there's so much that's available, pictures or information, and used to be you would get a Playboy magazine or something like that, and that was a big deal.
Right.
And nothing nowadays.
Very good point. Any thoughts?
My gun was falling around.
Anything you'd like to contribute?
What was the question?
What do you think the differences are today as compared to the past?
Just the openness of everything. I mean, things weren't talked about years ago. It wasn't in movies. It wasn't in magazines. Everything is just so much more out in the open, which I think is good because in talking about sex, I think one of the things Daddy and I were talking about the other day was talking about sex that goes on between you and the person you're married to or involved in. That's one thing when you're sharing that those intimate details with other people. But if you were educating about sex, that's a totally different thing. The education has to be out there, and it's needed desperately from some of the things that I've seen. So you're in the right place.
And that was a beautiful segue. Next question. Thank you. What is it like? I mean, you just mentioned that, and then you mentioned the internet. So clearly, my show's on the internet. What's it like? I know you guys sit down every week and download my show, and you watch the podcast. What's that like?
I love it. It's great. I get a chance to wave to you and talk to you and see you, even though we're across the country. But it's been very educational for me. I mean, I thought I knew everything there was, and yet week to week, I never know what I'm going to learn. So whoever taught you did a good job.
Yeah, good question. Any thoughts on that?
We should have sent you to more CCD classes.
Better Catholic upbringing.
Better Catholic upbringing, yeah.
Nice. Guilt, though. The guilt's there, I think. I think I'm good with that. Okay, and our final question, which is the randomly generated Gorilla Soapbox question. Who do you think is the sexiest television or movie star, and why?
Are you going to go for a guy or a girl?
I'm going to go for a girl, thank you.
Go ahead. Who comes to mind?
Jessica Biel.
Oh, she's really young.
Doesn't matter. I mean, she's a very attractive young lady.
Okay.
She's the one that was on television.
Seventh
on
Heaven?
Seventh Heaven.
Heaven. Oh,
How about you?
okay. Me, who do I like a lot? You know,
Male or female?
Male, preferably. Yeah.
I don't know.
I like them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, I don't know that I really have a favorite.
Will you watch The Practice sometimes and JAG and stuff like that? Anybody?
Right. I don't know. What movies have we seen that that we go to see? And
Well, you like the guy, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, he's my latest.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
Good choice.
Yes, he's my latest. Yeah.
He's Bill.
Yeah, I enjoy
All right.
him. Yeah.
Well, thank you for flying all the way to be in the den.
Sexual fun fact number 699. What was the connection between sexuality and graham crackers in the 1800s?
Graham crackers were given to children in the belief that the bland food would curb any sexual desires. Munch away.
I don't think it's working.
Take some more, Jennifer.
Eat up. Eat up.
Eat up.
The Den recommend. If you're a parent out there, or even an aunt, uncle, or friend who isn't sure how to talk to children and teens about sex education and creating an open environment for discussion, there are some great resources online, starting with Advocates for Youth. Established in 1980 as the Center for Population Options, Advocates for Youth champions efforts to help young people make informed and responsible decisions about their reproductive and sexual health. They stand for the core values of rights, respect, and responsibility. On their website, they have specific resources for professionals, press and policymakers, youth, and parents. It's great, open-minded, down-to-earth, and a positive source of information. And here's an inspiring quote by an unknown author. "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow." And I chose this one on gratitude because you guys are here. So, if you've talked to your parents about their sexual upbringing and want to share that with me, visit me at DrJennsDen.com or ZipZapToys.com and email me at Jennifer@DrJennsDen.com. And if you're a woman who's interested in bringing greater balance and passion into your life and want to rise to the next level of joy and pleasure, drop me an email for a half-hour trial session to see how we can possibly work together. Now stand in gratitude for all that you have, and be kind to yourself.
I did it too.
The stand for the, oh crap. It's
I
supposed to be
didn't
they.
say that.
I know.
Stand for the crap.
Yeah.
You have to start all over again? We could be here for hours.